Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly Ascension Angel Messages for April 14th through the 20th, 2025. So, welcome back, everybody. For those of you who are always sharing in these amazing messages, and also welcome to you if you're new to our Angelic Wisdom community. Thank you for joining us, and we hope that you will subscribe. If you haven't done so already, select the all notification bell, like, and or dislike, of course, and then leave your comments. Now, if you feel compelled during this video to have an angel reading with me, you can go to my current website, theangelschool.com/services. The readings right now are available on Saturday primarily, and there may be some time during the week where I may have some freedom in my schedule. I may get home early, um, or could arrange to get home early. So, you know, let me know if that's something that you do need. Um, that will probably be around 5 o'clock if it just, if there's any opportunity for that. Then, if you would like to donate or support my channel, you can use my PayPal me link for Angelic Wisdom LLC, which you will find all of these links in the description area beneath this video. Also, make sure you check out the monthly Ascension Angel messages for April. If you haven't done that, or haven't been aware of them, I have been posting them monthly. So I don't think they're getting, I don't think everybody is seeing them based on the numbers I'm seeing. So just make sure that you check them out because they're really, really just as important and very, I think, helpful to just sort of help you to be aware of what energies we're working with in that month and how to really focus overall. Okay, so let's take a deep breath. And also, as you take these breaths, center yourself. And sometimes it's just really good to close your eyes, to just shut out the rest of the world and just be present. And they are showing me right away, this is an opportunity in this week and in the month as well. But they're really showing me right now, this is a time, this week is going to be full of potential in terms of action. So I get this sense of, I saw like a phallic symbol, and I also saw the Aries symbol. So what that is telling me is that this is the time for you to make, these important choices in your life that can really just get things going. It'll feel like new beginnings, and it might just be this simple feeling of hope, just because put yourself out there in some way or made that decision. It feels as if you know you've been waiting or holding back trying to prolong, um, how do I say this? So it's almost sometimes as if um, I was talking to someone and they have been in this sort of new phase, relationship dynamic where nobody's saying anything, but everybody's feeling everything and sending signals, but nobody's acting on the signals, right? And and what that does is it's great. It feels good, and we get to the point where we want to prolong the pleasure of this for as long as we can. But in the back of your mind, um, you're afraid. You're afraid to pop this bubble because you're afraid that you'll never have it again. And when that happens, you're really creating, or you're really, I don't know if this is the right word, but ruminating in a sort of soft fear. Um, and so it becomes comfortable to be there than to step to the edge and, pop that bubble and see what reality is. And so you could be holding on to an idea and you're just afraid to push the button, or an action that you need to take, but you're afraid to push the button because the energy of feeling like, this fantasy, because right into that moment, it's a fantasy until you find out. And we've got to be open to finding out. There's nothing to be afraid of. Truth is sobering and it's also clarifying. And it could really turn into this amazing energy if you let yourself keep walking towards things. So it might be the reason for delays. However, this is definitely a time for new beginnings. This is the time to, release and release that holding place you find yourself in, and to just surrender to the opportunity, trusting that no matter what the outcome is, that there is a plan or purpose beyond that or through that. So take that opportunity, take this opportunity now to to sort of pop that bubble and see what's really there for you. And get used to this, because the more that you sort of embrace these experiences, the more that they will become fulfilling to you in all the ways that you need. So let's just take a moment to really feel whatever that is for you. And let's take a moment to feel safe in that, being right in that moment when you let it go and you release it to be what it is. So let's call upon your guardian angels, protection of God's love to completely enfold you, to offer you all the caring and also, I don't know why they wrote that your guardian angel wrote this, but it's sort of right Duolingo, like what it hello, like um, it could be literal, that maybe if you've been thinking about learning a language or something, but I get a sense of it's almost like, communicating with your guardian angel is something that you need to start learning. And you'll probably go, how do I do that? Well, I think, like the Duolingo game, it's really app. It's really about, the game that tries to keep you there daily. The more you practice daily, the more you will get better at the language that you're trying to learn. So and I know, and I'm guilty of this too, but I've really been, since I mentioned it came up in the last video, um, I've really been daily calling upon my guardian angel, in this way to surround me in the protection of God's love. So that I, first of all, recognize that I'm always safe. But what I need to be reminded of to feel safe is what God's love feels like. And your guardian angel has been with you since your conception in the mind and heart and love of God. And as we have journeyed from that moment, from that first moment of birth, from conception into becoming individual souls, birth as souls, and then going through our evolution of lifetimes, of journeys, right? We have grown sort of away, further and further away from that voice. It is and that love, it is our purpose to find our way of staying connected with that. Like the language of the world and the language of the universe almost becomes like, two languages. But you speak both. And the practice, or remembering to practice, will realign you with that. You'll start to get the signs, because it's not going to be just all auditory or visual, but it will be many things. It will be just, clear feelings, right? Just feeling or sensing your guardian angel enfolding you, feeling the energy, whether it comes as warmth or if you feel its wings of light or its divine presence or the love. And it doesn't have to be all serious. It can be, maybe your guardian angel has a sense of humor or enjoys laughter. And so maybe things that might seem like a little inside joke between the two of you might become a part of your um, interactions and your communications. Know that your guardian angel loves you, loves your personality, and whatever aspects of you that are special, which it sees all of them, the good and the bad. It doesn't have judgment, it doesn't pick and choose. And so it will find ways to interact with you through your personality. So just really be open to that communication. But just allow yourself to feel safe. And think about whatever it is that you've been holding on to that you really want to try. Or a person that you really want to say something to for whatever reason it is. And just call upon your guardian angel right now to give you the courage to go through with it in a way that might surprise you. Maybe it catches you off guard and it just comes out. And also, ask your guardian angel to connect with the guardian angel of the person or persons in which you would like to communicate with or present an idea to. And ask your guardian angel to communicate to their guardian angels your true intentions, and that would help them to see, to really truly see you, and to see what it is that you have to offer. And for your guardian angels to help you all to work together to find a solution or an arrangement that really works well for everyone's highest good. And then let it go. And trust inspiration when you feel it. And I know you know what I'm talking about because I felt it. When you feel inspiration, it bubbles, it wells up inside of you, and it's telling you, and you can feel it. It's almost you're telling yourself, you hear yourself telling yourself, go, go, go. But that other voice, ignore it. Know that whatever will happen is what needs to happen. It's what you need to experience, it's what you need to learn in order to grow. A rejection is not no, your idea is bad. It's that I need to refine it, and that this is helping me to dig a little deeper to find that connection with the right people. So it's never a setback but a setup. So you'll go back and you'll do it again and you'll try to mull over what needs to be done to make it, you know, um, to make it more easily received, well, so that it's received, right? And then you'll feel that inspiration well up, and it'll be somebody else possibly, and they will be, you and they will be ready. And they're writing the word music. It's like almost like when two people are feeling inspiration, inspired by each other, it's like music to the soul. It's like music in your heart. And we love this feeling, but we have to understand that we don't want another to be forced, or we don't want the other to accept something when they don't have the inspiration within themselves, right? We want that music for the soul, whatever that really means, what the angels mean by that. But I get a sense that it's like we're all on the same wavelength, right? That music for the soul is what we're all on the same wavelength, and it shows a bond or a partnership that's equal and mutual. All right, so let's take a look at the archangel that we're working with for this month. Archangel Muriel. And this is really appropriate. It says, trust your own wisdom. Have faith in your psychic impressions. All right. So this is such a really great archangel to receive around what we were just talking about our feelings, about trusting, you know, the inspiration within you, wanting to really connect in a way that feels like we have music in our souls, wanting an alignment, a mutualness, a mutual agreement, this music for the soul, or when both hearts are inspired, is this mutual agreement and compatibility and partnership. And um, Archangel Muriel is an angel of love, compassion, and harmony. Has a beautiful, powerful pink, as you can see in his wings, and white aura. And this card here with the ocean and this incense and the pink rose and the moonlight, the full moon, gives us a sense that we really need to be totally and fully, and it's going to follow a full moon as well, because I think the full moon is on the 13th or the, yeah. And so this is going to be something coming like to fruition, and you have the opportunity to be inspired. It feels like you're going to be inspired to do this. So just trust yourself, trust what you're feeling. And again, if you're feeling it and then you go up to somebody and they're not, it doesn't mean that you messed up. It doesn't mean that you got you were off, your intuition was off. Not at all. Um it was time for you to say it out loud, if nothing else, and um to get it out there, to see what it felt like. And like I said, you know you will be aware, and maybe that's the other part of this that they're introducing us to today, because I've never had these thoughts before about this at all, but in this way about inspiration. But maybe it's learning um to recognize when someone else is inspired. And when we see them in an inspired or feel or sense inspiration, when we walk into a space, or we feel or we sense or see a group of people who are inspired, who are in mutual agreement, that it might be time for us to, you know, have faith and join, engage that group of people or that space that we're in, and let it be a place where it doesn't always have to be about, is somebody going to support my idea, in the sense of, is this the person that's going to partner with me or give me the backing I need? Is it going to be that those groups of people that you're sensing or feeling are going to be the people that are just going to give you that encouragement, that feedback, that to mirror your inspiration? And or might they be the people who are going to um, give you, point you in the right direction to someone they just can sense and that they know would be inspired by this or is looking for this, that might become that partner, that backer, supporter? Okay? Or somebody just gives you the idea to get more backing and support. So have faith, you know, in your psychic impressions. And I always say that the voice of God or the voice of the And the angels is inspiration, hands down. And we often overlook it. So the cards are from have been laid down from right to left. So we're still focusing and um in this week on from the internal perspective, right? So what is this? Ah, the Knight of Swords. All right. So this gives us that sense of quick thinking. It's a keyword that just comes to mind. Um, and what I'm getting a sense about this is, um, you know, going for it. You see something clearly, no hesitation. You go right for it. And so this is the sort of the encouragement I think that your angels are giving you in this week to, and or is a sense of that this will start off with no delays, or it'll feel as though and something just confronts you right away, and you just got to be think on your feet, right? You got to give that quick response, and the clearest way to do this is always just come from your truth. Just, let that response be simple yet inspired by your truth, by and that's the culmination of everything that you've experienced and what you know thus far. That's the only thing that we can do in every moment is base our decisions on the truth that we've come to know thus far. And what often seems like a mistake or an error or misjudgment is because you did not have that foreknowledge, I guess, of what that new experience was going to really entail. So, is it a mistake to, when you're walking into a new territory, should you really be that hard on yourself? Is knowing the future really that important? Or being present more important and rewarding yourself for what you were capable of doing in a new, fresh, and exciting moment? Or beating up on yourself for not knowing what to do in a new, fresh, and exciting new moment? Think about that. Why do we spend so much energy fearing that new, fresh, and exciting new moment when we're there? If we're really allowing ourselves to be there, we're there to learn. So, is it a mistake? Did you make an error if you're actually there to learn? Think about the Earth School. We're here to learn. What's the guilt for? What's the criticism for when we're actually here to learn? And we're not here to ward off mistakes. That's the wrong way to live. We're here to try out. This is, it's trial and error, meaning we're here to try out things, to explore. And the only reason what we're fighting in all of that is change. And change is what allows that to be possible. So less criticism. And this is, now, I don't remember because she probably reverses, but it says Forza. So this is key 11, and I think it's the strength card since we have this bishop looking character with the whale. Okay. And it's so interesting confronting this whale figure here. Um, and it's almost like, there's always some kind of animal in this card, right? This larger than life, feared, very feared um, animal. In this case, it gets a mammal, but and like, and our humanity is often confronting things that we don't understand, things that are bigger and larger than who we are. And that's very interesting since we were just talking about that, right? And this card of courage, strength card, is, really, is it about us? You know, it's really not for the beast or but it's really for us, that we need to have more compassion for ourselves, just because we don't always understand that side. We don't understand them and that aspect of us, which is what is really personifying, because there's an ego inside of us that we're so afraid of, and we don't know how to embrace it. We've judged it, we've tried to heal it, we've tried to do so many things to it, but we just don't know what to do with it. And ultimately, in the universe, these parts of ourselves, the logical and the illogical, the rational and the irrational, um, the good and the bad, the positive and the negative, they are all one. It's our perception or our prejudice that keeps us in a struggle with it. So we have diversity within ourselves, within our souls, within ourselves, within our body, within our world. And we're struggling with that because are still struggling with that internal um, aspects of ourselves. So until we learn the language to understand the each aspect of ourselves, we will be stuck in this paradigm in which we are afraid. And when we're excited, we're afraid because we don't know when, like, gosh, it's sort of like half empty, half full, or fear of success or fear of failure. Like, we just, it's always, there's always this imbalance of the two energies until we center ourselves and stop judging either one. It's sort of like what we're just talking about. We're just here to learn. There's no judgment in that word. There's no duality in that word, except that it's not about us getting it right or wrong, being perfect or imperfect. It's just that we're here to learn. It's not about making mistakes or doing everything right. We're just here to learn. It's the only way to be present. And it's the only way, when we're present, it's the only way to really act from our truth. And this doesn't mean just because we act from our truth that our truth is right or wrong. But we are fulfilling our purpose no matter what's going on. We're always where we need to be no matter what's happening. Whether you like it or not, or somebody else likes it or not, does not matter. But if we get stuck on that, we don't learn, we don't heal, we don't find solutions, and we don't have access to the voice of the angelic realms, which is inspiration. So you're just killing intuition. And look what's come up again. The star card. We've had this quite a lot since I've been working with this deck, and especially we had it last week, and I'm sure some weeks before that. So this card is coming in one to really give us that sense of hope that we're and to remind us that we're on this really long term journey. This is a journey that is going to grow in stages. So there's no rush, but there's no need to be in a state of delay or wanting. Because every day you reach a new goal, you achieve a new goal. Every day you get closer to wholeness, to healing, to reform, to positive change and transformation. Okay, let's take a look at the card I already pulled from the bottom of the deck. Now, this is going to be interesting. So, this is Diano, which is the devil card. And it's interesting that card comes up after all of this conversation, right? And here we just seem to have this wolf like beast. It may at first look like, or is it a horse? At first, it looks like it's looking up. And every time I see the card, now when I spot the two eyes like this, it looks like a wolf, right? Now, when you see it this way, you see the two eyes. And it's this very duplicitous being. Now see a horse rather than a wolf. I see because one I see one looking up, and now one see looking directly at you, and it's standing over a path. And if you were to meet this creature in the on this path in this dark sort of space, would you turn away? Probably so. Or would you have the courage to figure out what is it that is standing in the shadow? Would you allow this, your fear, to block you from walking that path? If that's the path that you've been set upon? Or would you allow something, your mind, to conjure up something from a distance and abandon that path? Because at first it looked like a scary wolf, and every time I've looked at this card, I still and I see that. But now I see that it's a horse. However, I know it has those red eyes. But, we're just dealing with the creatures in that other card. And it's about having the compassion, the courage to really face yourself, to face a part of yourself. And on that path right now, collectively and individually, we're facing a part of ourselves, collectively and individually. It's the same energy that we've been battling with. And of course, we're going to find it outside of us if there's no peace, inner peace, with the two aspects of the soul that give us so much depth in either direction, because there's in the light and the dark there is so much nuance. There's a spectrum of nuance, and this really gives us tools of expression for this extraordinary earth plane of extraordinary lessons. We can experience anything here. We can work through anything here. There are There's no limit. We can achieve anything here. And it's all because of free will. That's the variable between these two energies that allows there to be so much experience or play of experience through these two nuanced energies. And yet we shut ourselves off from one half of it, in the sense that every time we end up in that, we think we're making lots of mistakes instead of seeing just how much that path also allows for growth and also makes it makes it possible to enjoy the other side of all the amazing qualities that the light offers. But the dark is just as amazing and nuanced. They're equal. They're not either or. They just are. For your pleasure, for your exploration and experimentation. And once you are centered in heart and mind in this way, you will really enjoy the pleasure of your intuition and the guidance. I just saw the word segregation. So it's like right now, dark and light, they're segregated. And we see that thing that plays out in this world in other ways. But once we become one, then this will have a whole new meaning to you. There'll be less distrust and more trust in who you are, because that's what it really is about. It's not about whether this is going to be right or wrong, or these are the right people to associate with. It's really about, when I'm whole inside, I know trust. I not only know it, but I live it. I breathe it. It is my experience, my new experience. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a beautiful week. And as always, God bless you.